You're listening to Don't Miss This on Paris Underground Radio. For more great content, including bonus videos of events in and around Paris, please join us on Patreon. Hello, and welcome to Don't Miss This, your weekly roundup of the best of what's happening in Paris this week. I'm your host, Jennifer Garrity, the creator and founder of the Paris Underground Radio podcast network, featuring podcasts on a wide range of topics that come out 6 days a week and are made for people just like you. If you haven't yet, please sign up for our newsletter. It comes out every Sunday and includes a little program of what's to come each week, so you always know what's happening on the Paris Underground Radio podcasts. You can sign up on parisundergroundradio.com. This week has a grand, white, all-night finale. Before we get to that and my picks, there are plenty of festivals, concerts, art installations, and more to get you through. You'll begin with an all-night dance party, visit urban geishas, and learn to bio-illuminate. Levitate. Expand your imagination. Get books to talk. Become a secret agent. And so much more. This week's edition of Don't Miss This covers the week of Sunday, May 28th through Saturday, June 3rd, 2023. Who says Sundays aren't made for dancing? Certainly not I. And in case you need an excuse to party the night away, never fear, Monday is a holiday. Now that I've twisted your arm, let's head to Virage for Paris 360 degrees. This party will bring together a cutting-edge lineup of the best in electronic music. One of the things that makes Paris 360 so special, and of course what gives it its name, is that the DJ is placed in the center of the dance floor, while party-goers dance all around. But here's what makes this particular night extra special. You'll get a drink offered by Southern Comfort, who is sponsoring this event, and 6 hours of DJ sets. Among the DJs, you'll find Boys Noise, a producer and DJ from Berlin who was named one of the top 10 DJs in the world by Rolling Stone. Eika, an English DJ and producer who owns the Femme Culture label and won Essential Mix of the Year from the BBC in 2021. And Paul Seul, a French DJ and producer and co-founder of the label Casual Gabers. And, as I mentioned, this event is sponsored by Southern Comfort. So you'll find a pop-up bar filled with signature drinks and a happy hour from 11 p.m. to midnight. Paris 360 will be at Virage on Sunday, May 28th, and tickets start at €14. For more information, please visit feverup.com. Did you know that there's a proposal for a World's Fair in 2030? Well, one of the cities in the running to host the World Expo is Busan in Korea. To help explain why, the Korean Cultural Center has created a new exhibit called Frétillante Busan, or Bustling Busan. This South Korean city is home to 3.4 million people, and now you'll be able to partake in some films, art, concerts, conferences, workshops, and cuisine essential to this part of the world. Discover the history of the city from Japanese colonization to its wars to its opening to the world at large. Within this immersive exhibit, you'll find a cinema club, a retro pop-up cafe with a 1980s Busan atmosphere, a street food market, as well as a traditional dance show. And since South Korea is at the forefront of so many technological advancements, a section of the immersive exhibition will be dedicated to the virtual, from artificial intelligence to NFTs, video mapping to digital interactions. Frétillante Busan will be at the Centre Culturel Coréen from Tuesday, May 30th through September 16th, and more information can be found at coree-culture.org. That's coree-culture.org. Let's take a virtual hop across the sea to Japan with the new Urban Geisha exhibit at the Sacre Coeur. In this exhibit, French artist Monica Nowak explores her vision of today's modern woman, viewed through the lens of geisha. Geisha were, quote, women of the arts who marked the collective imagination with their sensuality and charm and were often sexualized and reduced to marketing objects for films, books, and tourism, end quote. Monica's solo show, which has already appeared in New York and the UK, and all over France, mixes street art with Japanese accents and aims to denounce the objectification of women. Urban Geisha will be at the Galerie Sacre Coeur from Wednesday, May 31st through June 17th. and is free to attend. For more information, please visit galerie-sakura.com. That's GALERIE-SAKURA.com. How do you feel about nature? About greenery? What if you didn't have to leave the city center to find it? Beginning on Thursday, June 1st, Jardin will make its way to the Tuileries Gardens. This event is dedicated both to gardens and to the greening of the city, and features around 30 makeshift terraces and balconies, created by renowned and up-and-coming landscapers. Here you can find inspiration for your own green spaces, or just delight your inner nature lover. You'll also find tons of workshops and events with bouquet demonstrations, headdress creations, herbarium workshops, vegetable garden workshops, and others. There will be additional debates open to professionals around topics like architecture, health and environment, circular economy, ecology, and urban agriculture. Within the 3,000 square meters of space dedicated to this exhibit, you'll find 500 species of plants to buy and 300,000 plants on the installations themselves. Jardin will be in the Jardin des Tuileries from Thursday, June 1st through Sunday, June 4th, and a one-day pass is €15. For more information, please visit jardin.com. That's JARDINSJARDIN.com. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. If you've also spent many a sleepover trying to lift your friends on your fingertips, you may be interested in the Levitation project at Espace Commune, straight from the mind of the artist Forget Matt. In an ephemeral 700-meter square space in the heart of the Marais, the Levitation project will offer more than 30 pieces of art, performances, and live workshops. Quote, Forget Matt highlights architecture, lines, and colors to create vertiginous and poetic concepts, offering a unique visual and immersive experience. The public will be able to try their hand at the art of movement, defy weightlessness, and immerse themselves in spaces created especially for the occasion. End quote. While the concept comes from Mathieu Forget, also known as Forget Matt or Flying Man, other talents like street artist Jordan Sargé and athletes like Enzo Lefebvre, Florent Manadou, and Romain Dico will also participate. The Levitation project will be at the Espace Commune from Thursday, June 1st through Sunday, June 4th, and is free to attend. For more information, please visit forgetmat.com. That's forgetmat.com. Speaking of levitation, how about a whole festival dedicated to the imaginary? The 26th edition of the Festival de l'Imaginaire is making its way to the Maison des Cultures du Monde, beginning on June 1st. This year's edition also celebrates the 20th anniversary of the Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage, and will feature theater, dance, and music, as well as oral traditions and transmissions from around the world, most of which will be presented in France for the very first time. This year, artists come from Madagascar, Kenya, South Korea, Kosovo, Guatemala, Kazakhstan, Martinique, Ile de Réunion, and Malaysia to represent their traditions and culture. The Festival de l'Imaginaire will be at the Maison des Cultures du Monde from Thursday, June 1st through June 11th, and many of the events are free to attend. For more information, including a full program, please visit maisondesculturesdumonde.org. That's maisondesculturesdumonde.org. Let's continue exploring our festival options with La Bibliothèque Parlante, beginning the very next day. This talking library festival over at the Bibliothèque Nationale de France enlists authors, actors, and singers to help make books speak and reveal all of their secrets. This year's theme is nature and the elements. People like Pierre Richard, Anna Mouglalet, and Jean-Pierre Daroussin will perform texts by Colette, Zola, Verne, Lafont, Pfeiffer, and more, both in the library and its garden forest. La Bibliothèque Parlante will be at the Bibliothèque Nationale de France from Friday, June 2nd through Sunday, June 4th, and tickets are €10. For more information, please visit bnf.fr. I'm going to take us off the festival track for just a moment, and then we'll go a little further afield before coming straight back to Paris for the culmination of this week's events. If you live in Paris, there's a good chance you're fond of Art Nouveau. If you particularly like the form it takes when applied to jewelry, you may enjoy the new exhibit at l'École des Arts Joyeux. This exhibit will showcase nearly 100 pieces from major museums, jewelry houses, private collections, and renowned artists, and is divided into 3 chapters, highlighting the evolution of the aesthetics of jewelry over time. The first section, Nature Féerique, will present jewelry inspired by hybrid and fantastical creatures. The second, Éclosion, will be dedicated to pieces inspired by the plant and animal worlds. And the last, Abstraction, will reveal how nature has inspired abstract and geometric patterns in jewelry art. Un Art Nouveau Métamorphose du Bijou will be at l'École des Arts Joyeux from Friday, June 2nd through September 30th and is free to attend. For more information, please visit l'EcoleVanCleefArpels.com. That's LECOLEVANCleefArpels.com. As promised, we're heading outside of Paris to the Château de Fontainebleau for their latest festival, Festival de l'Histoire de l'Art, which explores artistic and natural heritage, with particular emphasis on the theme of the climate this year. You can rediscover this historic chateau with guided tours addressing climate issues linked to its history, and learn about the challenges that climate change poses to the curators and managers of the castle's parks and gardens. Festival goers will also have the chance to peek behind the scenes into the decision-making used to sustainably preserve this historical castle and its grounds in the face of climate change. The Festival de l'Histoire et de l'Art will be at the Château de Fontainebleau from Friday, June 2nd through Sunday, June 4th, and is free to attend. For more information, please visit festivaldeLhistoiredelart.fr. That's FestivaldeLhistoiredelart.fr. Okay, let's swing quickly over to the Château de Rambouillet for an immersive show in which you play a secret agent. That's right. It's 1959, the height of the Cold War, and you are in the heart of a state summit between General de Gaulle and President Dwight Eisenhower. Quote, at the heart of the Cold War, the Château de Rambouillet was the scene of a very confidential state summit. You have just entered the service of France as an intelligence agent. The castle opens its doors to you in a world where under the golds of the Republic, the spies of the KGB rub shoulders with those of the SDECE and the CIA. While the French and American presidents weigh on the destiny of the world, it's up to you to take part in the adventure. End quote. You will be immersed in the past due to the sets, costumes, and real-life actors who will accompany you throughout the castle. Take a seat in the vintage Peugeot as a part of the presidential motorcade, and travel from the BBC studios in the 1940s to the presidential apartments and discover what happened behind the scenes in this extraordinary encounter. Secret Défense will be at the Château de Rambouillet from Friday, June 2nd through June 25th, and tickets range from 18 to 28 euros. For more information, including ticketing, please visit secret-defense.fr. If you're enjoying this podcast, you may enjoy our sister podcast, Molly on a Trip, Music Around Paris, which is brand new to the Paris Underground Radio Podcast Network. Molly sits down with local French artists or touring musicians from all over the world to talk about what's going on in their careers and what inspires them. Get insights into what these musicians love most about Paris. Check out Molly on a Trip, Music Around Paris now, available wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll be right back with Don't Miss This after a word from our sponsors. And now, back to Don't Miss This. All right, friends, it's back to Paris for us, and straight into the world of bioluminescence. Have you ever wondered why certain species, like fireflies, glowworms, jellyfish, and certain kinds of mushrooms, glow at night? Well, this is a question that the new immersive bio-illuminate exhibit will try to answer. Here you will discover a magical universe made of natural neon lights, imitating the light found in nature. You are invited to travel between 2 immersive and playful rooms. The contemplation room, where you can dive into the heart of bioluminescence, and the interaction room, where you can better understand it, learn from, and interact with it. One of the ideas is that this light could fight against visual pollution, which affects 80% of the population, while reducing energy expenditure, giving us what might be the future of urban lighting. Bio-illuminate, planète bio-luminescence, l'expérience immersive will be at the Heureux les Curieux beginning on Saturday, June 3rd, and tickets begin at €17. For more information, please visit feverup.com. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, this week's grand finale, La Nuit Blanche. For the very first time, La Nuit Blanche, which translates literally as White Night but means all-nighter, has been moved to June. For one evening, you can wander through the streets of Paris, happening upon art installations, concerts, light shows, street opera, all for free. I've selected a few ideas that I think should be particularly interesting, but I'd love to hear what you end up seeing. This year's theme questions our relationship to the world, to nature, and to animals, as well as the link between the arts and sports in light of next year's Olympics. Let's start with the Seine, which is being highlighted both because, well, she's awesome, but also because she will play an integral part in the aforementioned Olympics. So, what can you find along the Seine? With street opera, you'll find singers from the Opéra National de Paris and students from the Charles Monk Municipal Conservatory performing on the banks of the Seine. In Opera River, just off the Seine, you'll find gramophones aboard Chinese dragon boats and Venetian gondolas along the canals, playing records at 78 RPM of legendary performers from the early 20th centuries in homage to the film Fitzcarraldo by Werner Herzog. And, quite impressively, you can admire an eternal sunset thanks to a magical installation. The sun, represented in the form of a large, luminous and shiny ball, will float on the Seine and blend into the urban landscape of the capital for a wonderfully poetic and astonishing spectacle, seen best from the tip of Ile Saint-Louis. Now let's head away from the Seine and over to the Shoah Memorial, which will be open from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. You likely know that this memorial was created to raise public awareness of the Holocaust, or Shoah, during the Second World War. This mission will continue, of course, during La Nuit Blanche, while also introducing us to fascinating contemporary artists, like Malik Ohanian, an internationally renowned and award-winning French visual artist and videographer of Armenian origin, who will present a set of works that powerfully and emotionally evoke the memory and history of the Armenian genocide, including Concrete Tears, which is being reinterpreted for this exhibit, and Pulp Off, which looks at the text and its destruction. This evening will be completed by an outdoor projection and the broadcast of a new documentary. Over in Beaubourg, the Pompidou Center will host Movement, with collaborative and immersive performances. Outside, artist and writer Aristide Barrault has created an installation covering the place with "But who would I be if I had grown up elsewhere?" in large letters. You are invited to participate in a big collage with your own words. This is open from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. Inside, in Gallery 3 at 8 p.m., you'll find a fashion show by Article 15K. Article 15K is named for a fictional article of the Congolese Constitution, which appeared at the dawn of the country's independence and states, "Manage your life." And this brand honors the invisible, those left in the shadows or ignored, and those who pick themselves up each day to keep going. At 10 p.m., you'll find Yasuki Walks, a fashion show featuring a collection by Smel Canutier of Compagnie Vivant and the fashion designer Julie Bette, created around the figure of the African samurai and Afro-Asian interbreeding. This collection brings together models and dancers at the, quote, crossroads of the graphic universe of the artist Smel Canutier through screen printing and African and Japanese motifs, and fashion designer Julie Bette through upcycling and funky fashion style, end quote. Please remember that whatever you end up doing, all these events and installations are free to attend. Well, that's it for this week's roundup of Don't Miss This. I hope this week treats you well. If you like this podcast, please don't forget to rate and review it wherever you listen to podcasts. It's the fastest and easiest way to show your support, and if you really want to be supportive, Patreon is a great way to help. Patreon supporters get bonus videos with insider views of some of the best exhibits happening in Paris right now, weekly episodes during season breaks, and access to a fabulous book club. Find all that information on patreon.com/Paris Underground Radio. I'm your host, Jennifer Garrity. You can find me on all socials at Jennyphoria. That's JennyPhoria. Thank you so much for listening, and happy exploring! Don't Miss This is produced by Jennifer Garrity for Paris Underground Radio. For more on this show and shows like it, please go to parisundergroundradio.com.